Hey everyone, welcome back to Installation 00. There's no script for this video because I need to let you guys know what's going on behind the scenes. So many of you who will be familiar with my Twitter page and things like that, and I think I've posted it a few other places as well, will know that there's been some copyright claims on some music in some of my videos recently. Now, truth be told, quite a lot of them have been copyright claimed. And the frustration is that the music that I use in my videos is the Halo soundtracks. And they are covered by Microsoft's game content usage policy, which means I'm allowed to use them in monetized videos here on YouTube. That enables me to create content, it enables me to make money, and provide more content for you guys because I get to do this full time. It works. It's a system that works. Problem is that the copyright system doesn't work. So even the 200,000 subscriber special, the ARC most detailed breakdown, was copyright struck for the use of Halo music by third-party companies that have no rights, no claim, no affiliation, and nothing to do with Microsoft, 343 Industries, Halo, or anything. Which is extraordinarily irritating because it means that they can swoop in, make the claim, and if either you don't notice, or if you do notice but you contest it but they reject it, they just walk away with your money. And that's a real big problem. The thing about being a YouTuber is, particularly at my size, I'm a 200,000 subscriber YouTube channel. That doesn't translate as meaning that I'm rolling in cash on a day-to-day basis. The big guys, the ones that have got millions of subscribers and upload a video a day, they've got a lot of money. Plus they've got all the sponsorship deals and they've got, loads of things happening externally that help fund, what they're doing. But I don't have that. I'm a 200,000 subscriber channel. The true reality is, I make just enough here on YouTube, just enough to pay my bills and have a little bit left over to spend on a few things I like. That's genuinely the reality of the YouTube platform. So when I generate content, and bear in mind, I generate 2, 3, maybe 4 videos a week. When I generate content, if it then gets copyright struck, something happens with that money. And basically what happens is somebody makes the claim, this third party makes this claim, they have no right to the music anyway, they make this claim, and the YouTube system cuts the money off straight away. Then I have to dispute it. Now if I dispute it, the money goes into a holding account. If I don't dispute it, they just walk away with the money. But if I notice and I contest it, it goes into a holding account. And for 30 days it sits there while the other party, the third party, decides whether or not my dispute is valid or not. And because they're doing this fraudulently, they know full well that the likelihood is I do have a valid claim. But the problem is that they can basically say, no, we still think we own this content. They can reject my dispute, my dispute, and if that happens, they take the money. That's it. I can go. There is another step above that. There's one more step above that, and that's basically where I appeal that decision. If I do that, I have to provide them with my personal information, my phone number, my address. I have to provide all the legal evidence, so to speak, that I have the right to use this music, and that then holds that money for a further 7 days. It's a massive invasion into my privacy because all that information, all the information that I provide, goes to these third parties. It goes to these companies. So there's these unknown third-party companies that no one's ever heard of all across the world that know who I am, where I live, my phone number. They know all of the intimate details of my life simply because they've claimed fraudulently content on my YouTube channel. That's unacceptable. I can kind of stomach that. I can hold my own. I can deal with any BS that comes my way in that regard. The problem I have is that causes a financial issue for me. Now, like I said, I'm not rolling in cash. I don't have millions of subscribers. I've got you 200,000 awesome people backing me. That's fantastic. YouTube is one of the greatest gifts I've been given, but it's by no means easy. It's by no means a walk in the park, and I'm by no means rolling in cash. The reality of the situation, like I clearly outlined a minute ago, I have just about enough from YouTube to meet my bills with a little bit left over to spend on things I like. That's it. So when these fraudulent companies come forward and claim my content, claim music that is covered by Microsoft's game content usage policy that I have the right to use, at least as far as that policy is concerned, until such time as Microsoft revoke it, which I don't think they're going to, they then draw that money out of me. They pull that money away. If I don't notice it, as many of my really older videos get that claim, and you just don't notice because they're not on the sort of top 30 videos that you've recently uploaded on the dashboard on YouTube, that money just disappears. That goes to them. Bearing in mind those videos still get views, but that just disappears and goes to them. If I do notice and I contest it, sometimes it's released and it comes straight back to me, and then the money hits the account. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they say no, we still claim this content, and it just goes away. It's theirs. Then I can escalate it. If I want the fight and want to share my personal details, I can escalate it. So this is the situation. So I've outlined this situation that I'm in as a content creator, and that I'm not alone in this. There are tons of even some of the other Halo YouTubers are in this same boat. So the problem I've got now is that it's becoming increasingly more difficult to be a content creator here on YouTube, to a point that I'm now genuinely considering whether or not this is actually going to be able to pay me how much I need to survive, to pay my bills each month. Because the thing is, like, even if that money is held for the 30 days, and then I dispute their decision and it's held for a further 7 days, that money's then delayed from this month until well into next month. Depending on where it falls, it could be 2 months down the line that I get that money paid out, depending on if it overlaps the days that YouTube and Google kind of make the calculation on how much you've earned this month and pay out. So it could be 2 months down the line. That means for 2 months I don't have enough money to pay my bills. That's not a good situation. Now, don't get me wrong, if push comes to shove, I will march back out into the world and I'll get whatever job falls into my lap, because I've got a family to look after. I've got a family to provide for. I'll work at McDonald's. I'll clean the streets. I don't give a shit. I'll do whatever I need to do to make sure that my family survive and my family have got everything that they need. But I don't want to have to do that. And I'm angry at the situation that I'm having to consider doing that. That the system is broken in that way. And bear in mind, I've reached out to YouTube, I've reached out to the community managers, I've done the whole 9 yards, and I'm not alone. Loads of other content creators have done the same thing, and nothing is changing. The system is heavily rigged towards these third-party companies, towards companies that have nothing to do with any of the content, but can just step in and snatch away a content creator's money. And it's unacceptable. So I now find myself in this ridiculous situation where I then have to sit here and ask you guys for help. It's becoming increasingly evident that if you watch the channel, you enjoy the content, the ads pop up, they disappear, blah 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 blah, that money is becoming increasingly more often paid to people outside of the channel. It's not coming to me, and that's not right, because you guys watch my channel for my content, and as a kind of reciprocal relationship that we both have, you watch the content, the ads pop up, you watch them, you skip them, whatever the case may be, but in either case that generates revenue, that generates ad revenue. That pays to me, that enables me to do this full time so I can make more content for you. It's a reciprocal relationship. But it's becoming more difficult for that reciprocal relationship to flourish because of these third-party companies. So I'm now in the awful situation to basically say this. There's a tier on my YouTube membership for $1 a month. There's also a tier on my Patreon for $1 a month. One of them's on YouTube, it's called Keep the Lights On. On Patreon, it's called Constructor, little Constructor Sentinels. If you are able to, and only if you're able to, if this is going to be a problem, don't do it. But if you are able to, please consider becoming a YouTube member, because the money paid through YouTube membership goes straight to the content creator. It just circumnavigates the copyright system completely. Or head over to Patreon and become a constructor over there. That will keep the lights on. It will absolutely guarantee that I can keep doing this, because I'm genuinely looking at a situation right now where I'm not entirely sure that I will be able to keep doing this into the future. I may have to go out and get a job again. I may have to abandon YouTube entirely, and I don't want to do that, because that's not fair on you. It's not fair on me. I just wanted to lay this out. It was a bit ranty. It was, it's a bit fast and loose because I've not got a script. I just wanted to add verbatim. I just wanted to let you guys know what's going on behind the scenes. You have the right to that dignity. You have the right to know what's going on. And the reality is things aren't going well because of this system. And these are the only ways I can think of where you can help keep this channel alive. And don't get me wrong, just you subscribing is already, you've breathed life into a channel that wouldn't have existed otherwise. And I hate having to ask, because it feels like I'm asking too much of you. I feel like I'm asking beyond what your responsibility is, and it's not a nice feeling as a content creator to be sat here basically having my cap in my hand saying, please sir, can I have some more? I'm just angry at the situation. It's the only thing I can think of to help offset that problem until it either goes away entirely, YouTube makes some changes if they're going to do that, or it no longer matters. I don't know. It's shit. I love this channel. I love you guys. I love the community. I love everything about this, and I love doing this on a day-to-day basis because it's where I shine, and it's where you guys enjoy what I can do the best. It makes sense for me to be able to keep doing this. But these little problems that keep cropping up, keep snatching away money, and keep making things difficult. Money talks, I'm afraid. At the end of the day, money... I'd love to be in a situation where money isn't an issue. That's not where I am. This is the reality of my situation. And yeah. Rest assured, I'll keep doing this as long as I can. I've got so much more I want to do. There's so much I want to give you guys. There's so much I want to do. There's so much I need to do. It's a responsibility almost. But if you guys can help, and only if you can help, please don't do it. But if you're struggling yourself, look after yourselves first. That's the most important thing. I hate having to ask, because the words just feel sour in my mouth. It's just... Yeah. Right, I've ranted enough. So sorry for the nature of this video. I've ranted enough. I'm sorry. Take it easy, everyone, and find peace in the domain.